Let's talk about it. We're going to have to talk about it. So the KC Chiefs, I don't know, I said the KC Chiefs, but the Kansas City Chiefs versus Tennessee Titans in the first round, the wild card game, didn't go as planned for the Chiefs. They were the favorites in this game. I think they were like 6.5. I might be wrong. I might be getting that confused with another game. But I know for a fact that they were the favorite. They were at home. Titans have struggled all season. They barely got in with a 9-7 record. Like I said in my playoff prediction video, if you guys want to go back and look at that, um, their point differential was terrible. It was like -57. So like they were outscored on the season. So that's not good going into the playoffs. They had the only one, the only good part of the game was they were able to stop the run. Like they were top five against the run. But other than that, they struggled in pass coverage. Their running game was it's decent, but it wasn't as good as it's been in the past. And the passing game was definitely off as Mariota regressed heavily this year. So who is the blame for the Kansas City loss to the Titans? And I have to give that blame to Andy Reid. Now the reason that I'm giving him the blame is because of like what he always gets blamed for, what he always gets criticized for, game management. That is the biggest that's the most underrated part of coaching that I don't think people talk about. Like, yeah, Andy Reid is a great play caller, great play designer. Like, yes, he is an innovator in a sense. Probably not so much anymore, but he's always been a good offensive mind. But he always gets killed for his game management. And if you're the Chiefs and you're Kareem Hunt, you look at this game. Let's go to Kareem Hunt's numbers. He had 11 carries, 42 yards. He had six of those carries in the first half, and he only finished with 11. And they were up in this game. How the hell? I'm not quite understanding how he only gets five carries in the second half. He wasn't dominating the ball. He wasn't dominating the game, but he was getting you about just just under 4 yards a carry, and he might have gotten that up had he got the ball more. Now understand you don't want to play towards the Titans' weakness, but you have to keep them honest. Now the Chiefs, yes, they did lose Travis Kelce right before halftime. They left like about a minute left. He left with a concussion, but that's even more reason to take a chance on running the ball because now you really don't have you're really missing an offensive weapon. Tyreek Hill dropped a few passes. You had the backup tight end drop a pass. I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Harris. He dropped a crucial pass. So that's why you want to run the ball. And the Titans were getting some momentum once they went to the hurry up offense. So if you're Andy Reid and you're seeing that your defense is struggling a little bit with the hurry up offense by the Titans, you want to slow this game down as much as possible, milk it for all it's worth, and he just for some reason the Chiefs just didn't do that. Now I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, "Oh, Andy Reid gave up his play call duties back in beginning of December, starting with the Jets game." Yes, he did, but he still has oversight over the game plan. And if you think Andy Reid can't dictate whether he wants his team to run or pass the ball, you're just bugging out, man. He's the head coach. The head coach still has say in whether he says, okay, he can tell the offensive coordinator, I think it's Matt Nagy, can tell him, yo, I want to run the ball here. Want to slow the pace game. We want to slow the game down. Chew as much clock as possible, and then get into short and medium distance, man. Especially when you see how the Chiefs passing game was struggling in the second half. As you can see, they didn't score any points. They didn't score any points in the second half. They blew an 18-point lead, and this is not the first time that Andy Reid has done so. Back into his first year with the Chiefs, they were up 20. They were up 18 points against the Colts on the road. Blew that game as well. So Andy Reid, he has a problem with game management, and I have to give him the blame for this L. Um, the funny thing about it is the Chiefs. Well, I mean the Titans. They dominate time of possession second half, man. If you look at the first half, the Chiefs were doing what they wanted to do. Even with the early drops from Tyreek Hill, they still were moving the ball. You have an 18-point lead at home. There's no way the Titans should be able to come back. There's no way that you shouldn't be able to score at least 3 points. You can't get 3 points. that was the deciding factor in the game. Titans held them scoreless in the second half. Um, this is they did get a little bit of pressure on Alex Smith as he got sacked 4 times, but the Chiefs had 0 turnovers. The Titans had two. Mariota threw a pick. Um, can't quite remember who fumbled, but somebody fumbled for the Titans. So it's just you just looking at this, you're looking at the statistics, and you're saying, why didn't they keep running the ball? They were averaging 4 yards a carry. Just keep it going. And for some reason, it's just something so simple as running the ball and chewing a lot of clock. The Chiefs couldn't manage to do so, and I have to give the blame to Andy Reid. That's why this is why Bill Belichick is so good, man. Of course, he's an X and O guy as far as the defensive side of the game plan. He's not really involved on the offensive. He's a defensive coach, but it's his game management. The Patriots are so disciplined. He makes sure I've never been to a Patriots practice or even know any special insider news, but if you could just see in the way that they play, they stay disciplined and they don't ever. How often do you see the Patriots beat themselves? It's rare that you ever see the Patriots beat themselves. They let the other teams make the mistakes, and they just try to play mistake free and disciplined football, which the Chiefs didn't do. When they didn't stay disciplined, they didn't stay with the run. So I'm putting the blame on Andy Reid. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'm just saying it's all on Andy Reid. So before I go, man, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and comment on the video, man. I appreciate all the love and feedback. I'm out of here, man. Peace.